Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over something a little different. So as many of you do know, since it is September, I've been going over a lot of just warm temperatures and tropical weather. That's kind of been the trend over the past month or so of just me just doing that. So I did want to do something a little bit different since we are starting to get a little cooler, especially across the west, especially the northwest. I did want to cover a little bit of snow that we are going to be seeing and how much it could be. So mainly today I'm going to be covering the temperatures, the really cold temperatures that could be set in place. And also I do want to cover this bit of snow, or not just bit of snow, but we could see quite a bit of snow in some areas from one system. I would say it's going to be called a winter storm. I'm not really sure if it's going to be named. I don't think it is. I don't know if they'll name it or not, but it is actually going to be quite a bit of snow to some areas. It's going to be coming through here and dropping a lot of snow, and where it doesn't, it could be dropping quite a bit of rain too across some areas. So we are going to be covering that today, and I do want to share this with y'all. This is just a little bit of a fun video and show you some snow that's already getting set in place across the west. Really over the past week or two, we've been starting to see some starting to settle in across your Sierra Mountains, across the Rocky Mountains, kind of just where your highest elevation. So you don't have to be a set mountain chain. Just wherever you have your highest elevations, we're starting to see some snow coming in. And with whatever, some of that moisture that isn't with the snow, could be some rain for some areas that need it. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. So you can see these are your afternoon temperatures across the west on your Wednesday. Now, at this time, we'll have something up here that'll be swinging by late week. And you can see how across a lot of California, in some areas, we have anywhere from 70s to 100s, but we do have a lot of 90s and 100s set for some places. Now, as you get to the Sierra Mountains, you can see we do have some cooler temperatures in 60s and 70s during the daytime hours. But if we were to look over parts of the Rocky Mountains, you can see how we have those cooler temperatures of 40s and 50s, some 30s in your highest elevations. And if we were to go ahead and move on to your Wednesday, you can see how that cooler air with this bit of snow that could be coming in, you can see how that cooler air actually does move in a little bit. And you can see how we have a little bit more of that widespread cooler air. Now, we do have really hot air across parts of California down to Arizona, so, especially that Southern California and that interior California. But you can see across the mountainous regions, we have 60s and 70s still, and 60s and 70s across a lot of central and northern Nevada. And you can see how that does extend into a lot of the west, into Washington, eastern Washington into Oregon. But you can see how we do have this widespread area in these mountainous regions of the Rocky Mountains where we do actually have 40s and 50s in place. And once you get into the nighttime hours, on your Thursday, once you do get into these nighttime hours, you can see how we actually do have pretty cold temperatures in place. We have 20s and 30s over a lot of areas. Of course, as you get into those highest elevations, it is cooler, but you can see how we are almost at freezing in some of the highest mountainous regions, to where we could definitely be seeing some snow move in. And if we were to keep looking into your Friday, actually, let's look at your Thursday highs, and you can see how that cooler air is actually starting to seep in a little from Canada, where we do actually have more widespread 30s across parts of mountainous Montana, mountainous western Wyoming, eastern Idaho, pretty much all of Idaho, you're pretty cool. But you can see across California, Arizona, you're still pretty hot. But if we were to focus up here, you can see how it's starting to cool down a little bit, and this is when the snow may start moving in. And you can see by if we were to look at Thursday night, we just looked at Wednesday night. I may have said Thursday night, but I want to look at Wednesday night now. And you can see how it's really cold, and we do have some more widespread 20s across a lot of these regions, and we could be seeing snow from this because we do have some moisture that will be going by, and you will see how much snow we could be getting. And you can see actually how there are some 30s moving into parts of Oregon too, so we are close to freezing to where we maybe could see some snow. But especially across these regions, we could be seeing some snow late week. And if we were to keep looking at the temperatures, your high temperatures, you're still in those 30s. Some areas in the 20s in very northern Montana, so where we do have that. And you can see our highs aren't getting that high, mainly because of the snow cover that could be there. We do actually have some snow cover right now across parts of Wyoming and other areas of the mountainous regions, and you can see how there's a lot of this widespread 30s and maybe even 20s over the northern Montana regions, and you can see how we do have some 40s across Oregon. That is pretty cold. And you can see how if we were to look across your Friday night, you can see how they're way more widespread, and we are seeing really cold temperatures. And even parts of the Sierra Mountains, we do have some really close to freezing temperatures, so kind of getting a cooler trend over a lot of parts of the West. Now you can see other parts we're still in the 50s and 60s, but a lot of them, especially parts of, let's say, parts of Nevada, parts of the Sierra Mountains, regions of Oregon, also into Idaho, pretty much western and central Montana, also pretty much all of Wyoming, but especially northwestern, as we move into northwestern Wyoming, we are seeing those really cold temperatures, maybe even teens in some areas as we do get into these regions. I know it does say 22, but there definitely is the possibility we can get in some of those teens. That is not uncalled for. And you can see as we get during your daytime hours, we're still in those 30s, and those 20s do extend a little bit more. Down here, we do actually have some 20s in that blue and very low 30s also. And you can see how we do have maybe a little bit of a 40s and 50s over some of these other regions, and where it did snow possibly the night before. And you can see how on your Saturday, your Saturday night, you can see how right here we actually do have some 20s over a lot of widespread areas, way more than that. And you can see how we actually do have these 19 degrees in place, which is really not that rare for this time of year, so I'm not too surprised for that. And you can see across the Sierra Mountains how we do have those freezing temperatures in place. And then 20s over a lot of western Montana, also into Idaho, northwestern Wyoming, and even parts of Oregon. We are seeing those really cool temperatures. And that's kind of the trend through a lot of next week. And we will be seeing more snowfall across the northwest. And if we were to look for this big snowmaker I was talking about, this is on your Thursday and moving into your Friday. You can see a lot of this snow and a lot of this moisture right here will be moving across here. And if we were to keep looking into your Saturday, you can see how we actually do, and also your Friday into your Saturday, you can see how we do have a lot of snow across western Montana, northwestern Wyoming, into Idaho, and we do actually have some isolated snow in parts of Oregon, parts of northern Nevada, and also parts of the Sierra Mountains. And you can see how it does drop quite a bit of snow through your Saturday, especially in the nighttime hours. It could turn all the way to snow. And we do have some rain across Utah, parts of Wyoming, eastern Montana, but snowfall across western Montana, also into Idaho, western Wyoming, and parts of northern Utah. And you can see how that does kind of stay around for a lot of western Wyoming, and we do see quite a bit of snowfall. Now you can see throughout next week, next week, I would say, we do actually have more systems moving in throughout actually the next few weeks, where it's kind of the same track. So we could be seeing a lot of snow falling across these areas of the northwest over probably the next month or longer. We're going to have to be seeing, but especially this week we are seeing quite a bit of snowfall across Montana especially. And you can see parts of northern Montana where we do have those very mountainous regions near Browning. We have 1.5 feet, so 1 foot to 1.5 feet of rain falling in the next 10 days. So next week and a half, we are seeing quite a bit fall. Now you can see as you don't get into those mountainous regions, kind of in those lower elevations, we do not have any, to where it's kind of just that rain that was falling, but very, very cold rain. You're really close, but you probably won't get in on much. And you can see as we get into those mountainous regions of southern Montana, somewhere around 1 foot of rain, northwestern Wyoming, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. And you can see across central Idaho, where you are in this mountainous region, somewhere around 10 inches of rain in some areas. 6 to 12 inches is what we're expecting. Parts of Nevada, near Austin, Nevada, north central Nevada, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Also in the parts of western Oregon, where we do have our mountainous regions, we could see upwards of 6 inches in your highest elevations, but generally 3 to 6 inches in those highest elevations, and in those kind of the mid elevations, maybe around an inch or so, maybe a little bit more, but that's kind of what we're looking at there. And then into the Sierra Mountains, we do get quite a bit of snow falling across here at nighttime, because it gets really cold here, and we do get quite a bit of snow to fall, because you do have that moisture that does go up on the mountains, and then it kind of just does fall down as snow because it's very cold. And you can see we could see 12 to 24 inches, so 1 foot to 2 feet across parts of Mammoth Lakes, especially in that yellow area. That's where we'd be seeing that South Lake Tahoe around 7 inches. moving up towards here near, I want to get an exact location, possibly a foot near Chester, maybe a little west of there, Mount Shasta. 5 inches also in a Bernie, about 2 inches where you're getting those little bit of lower elevations. Also, as we do move into some of these regions across just south of the 24 inches area, maybe around 3 to 6 inches. So that's pretty much all we do have, but you can see where we do have our high elevations in Colorado. Your highest elevations, maybe a trace of snow, just nothing too big, just really cold temperatures. Parts of northeastern Utah could get on a little bit of snow where you're in those highest elevations once again. We could get a little bit of snow in, but not much. So this is really, over the next 10 days, just where we do see our highest elevations. And we do have a lot of moisture that could be moving through, dropping a lot of snow. Some areas, 2 feet of snow in the next 2 weeks. So I did just want to cover something a little different across the west, because in those highest elevations we could be getting quite a bit of snow throughout the next few weeks, and I just did want to cover that. So I do hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider subscribing and leaving a like down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.